Everybody, welcome to Internship. Just a quick little hello. I know I've had all of you in my class over the various years and all the way back to like 2018, as recently as last semester. Um, but we are six strong, and I just wanted to share with you my responses or kind of my thoughts after reading through your surveys. First of all, thank you so much for doing that and doing it so quickly. I read through them, and then I felt immediately compelled to actually submit my own response. So the first one, fairly telling here, and I get it. We're at how are you? How are you doing just generally? And we had five people at a four. It's actually four out of four because someone submitted twice. We got one at five and two at six. And I actually submitted myself, I think, as a six, maybe a five. But, I think that's reflective of the realities of where we are. Like, it's just a weird time. It's untethered. And there's a lot of unknown. And um, it's not ideal. But very rarely in life is something ideal. So I think we're just gonna, we're gonna plow ahead and we're gonna do what we can. And I'm gonna depend on you to, help me set up supports that are gonna best serve you in the best possible way for the time. Um, yes, we wouldn't choose this, but it is what we have. So, uh, that's kind of going to be hopefully we'll be able to convey that spirit. But yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. People ask me often, like, "Hey, how are you?" And my honest response is like, "I'm not sure," because everything is so untethered now. One of you mentioned that you have like six people working full time at home uh, and are expecting to do an internship, and that sounds horrific. And everyone else has other stuff they're dealing with. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the parts for me that's so hard is I've got three little ones at home, and they're not so little anymore, but 8, 11, and 14. And, they're going to be remote learning for the whole semester. And my wife works, she's a doctor, so she's going to be gone for 3 days a week. And during those days, I'm at home with the kids. And, because we can't really leave them alone for a whole day or even a big chunk of a day. So how am I going to do my job? So just like you, like I think that we all have worries, and I think it's the most important thing isn't to pretend, yeah, everything's just fine and hunky dory. Um, I think it's important to name it in the moment. Like there's a lot of stuff that really sucks right now that I wish didn't happen. One of my jobs, I think, I don't really know anything anymore. But one of my jobs, I think, is to just help us remember, like, this is what we have, and let's figure out a way to make things work, uh, given the situation. So I just wanted to review question by question. But yeah, so, we've got some fours, a five, and a couple of sixes. When I started this last semester, it was fairly similar. It wasn't quite so um, low on the four side, but gradually week to week as we got more comfortable, it did climb up. I think a lot of it has to do with the unknown of what's coming. Uh, I mean, change is tough and it's scary. And so um, my hope is this goes up over the semester, we trend upwards. But anyway, so we'll be doing this survey regularly, not all of it, but just the beginning part. So positives, really nice stuff, and I think it is really important to do that. My positive is my sister. It's unrelated to pandemic or anything, but she's from Philly, and her kid is just starting his freshman year at UNH, and they were able to stay with us for 3 days. They camped out in the yard, and I'll probably be seeing them in 2 or 3 weeks, and when they come and pick them up when campus closes. But um, no, it may close, it may not. We'll see. Um, but yeah, it's great to see that we're able to at least start to find or name the positives. And that is really, I think, very, very important to identify. Like, yeah, this is different, and it's not all bad, it's not all good, it just is different. And so it has different impacts. So, um, my daughter was just there, and that's a perfect example of why I'm like, oh! Anyway, and you all get to experience that. But one of the other things that I noticed, and this is, we did a faculty check-in yesterday. So many folks are getting pets. I adopted a cat. There's a couple other mentions of that. We're actually getting a puppy on the 26th of September. So it's great. And yeah, seeing some family and friends and reconnect. I've reconnected with folks. I love this. I've begun to feel some peace. Like it is kind of what we have. And then of course there's always a puppy, and puppies always help. Challenges, boredom and stir craziness while being at home. Yes. Confused, overwhelmed, what it's going to look like. Yeah. And I think we all are. Yeah. That whole like, that was so, it was a little shocking to me that you get to have to, no, that we got to be remote. My hope is that changes as we go through the semester. This one here, living with 6 in college, high school, adults working remote. Oh. Planning for the this is what I wrote for a challenge. Like I feel like there's a heightened sense of urgency and responsibility that I have to help you all and other students in my other classes, and there's a lot of unknowns, and so how to do that, it's going to be tough, but it's the challenge ahead of us. Not being in school with teachers has been difficult. Yeah, and I this one here was really impactful for me, feeling isolated, singled out, that you're not allowed in the building. There are a couple more districts that are doing that, but it stinks. It's going to be tough, but we're going to figure it out. It is what we have, and so we're gonna figure out as best we can. Overwhelmed at all that's going on, news how I'm not allowed in the school, discouraged. Yeah. But yeah, and again, like we'll get through this. Email addresses, blah blah blah. Seminar 3 to 5. So yeah, we're gonna need to go fully remote. I don't even know which this one, fully remote, this remote outdoor, second choice. We'll go remote. Maybe we'll talk about it on a Thursday, whether we want to provide a face-to-face option here in Durham outside. That's just a logistical detail. Let's see, positive about remote learning. I'm not going to go through these too much, other than to say, as someone who's a ed tech teacher, like there's been a lot of positive changes that have happened, I think, in education that have been forced, including the idea that learning might be a little more personalized, and that we start to leverage, and that teachers need to learn how to use remote learning tools, which we wouldn't have chosen in the first place. But now that we're here, folks are realizing, yeah, there's some stuff that's really good that we're actually going to keep. I think what was my response here was, these have been such fertile grounds for me for embedding UDL principles into my practice. And then finally, challenge about removing remote learning. Pretty much every one of these resonated with me from you. I need to move a lot. Yes, that's true of me too. Yeah, it is tough to connect with others remotely. We'll try to do our best, and I will depend on you to help me do that with both us as a group, and as you think about how to do the same with your students. Straining my eyes with too much screen time. This whole challenging with 5 to 6 people, managing Wi-Fi. That is one thing about the timing that we should check in about on Wednesday or Thursday is whether the time 3 to 5 really works. Depending on factors like this that I would have never considered if I hadn't asked these questions. Zoom meetings, this is fine. Just staying connected with people is one thing, and then there's always like over here a little task that is just a couple of clicks away, and if I'm not running a meeting, then it's really easy to slip and get that one little thing done, and then lose focus on the meeting, and that's not going to happen during face-to-face. Truly connected during remote learning, and then yeah, lots of folks are in-person, hands-on, and yeah, you'll have a different experience. You won't get as much of what face-to-face learning is about, student teaching face-to-face probably, but you'll get more of how to do remote learning, and who knows how much that's going to happen in the past, and how much you'll need those skills, and how much a superintendent's can talk to you about, like, look, our school bunch of experienced teachers really struggle with remote learning. What can you bring to the table? So maybe that's a positive that'll come out of this. But yeah, it's not ideal for in a lot of ways, but and I guess I would say it's different, and there are some assets that remote learning brings that face-to-face does not. So anyway, just a quick little set of my impressions reading through this, and hopefully convey the spirit of what kind of I hope this semester is. I do, want to say that like just in general, this is, I said at the beginning of the survey, we often have these ideas in our society of how we should feel, and I think the more we just abandon that and just feel what we feel and think what we think, um, that's the way we can find ourselves and be more content or kind of satisfied with whatever situation we're dealing with. And so I was not pleased, but in some way I was pleased to see, real. Y'all being real with your responses. So I really appreciate that, the trust that requires. So we will see you on Thursday. In the meantime, you've got my cell if you need to call or text. Please let me know, and we'll talk soon. And hang in there. We're gonna make this work. That is my job. That's our job, and this is gonna be good.